Yeah.
That makes sense to me.
Yep.
Now, I still don't believe you lock everyone in their house for that.
No. Pandemics suck. We've never done that before. They always suck. And then you get a vaccine, you mitigate, you find treatments, and off you go.
All right, let's talk to Dan. Dan.
Hi, guys.
Hi, guy.
So I'm a son of a retired pathologist, live in Florida, so I took this thing in stride for the past year. But I went to one of those snooty colleges up north and have had major issues with a lot of my college friends, people I used to really respect, who I've known for many years, who some combination of just irrational fear, elitism, and just being horrible for the past year. And some of these people I just don't want to talk to again. And I don't know how to kind of deal with this in my head, Dr. Drew, because these are people I've been friends with for 2 decades, and I just don't know that I can respect them again. And I don't mean the people who disagreed with me or who were a little more serious than others. I'm talking about the people who didn't leave their house for a year despite having very little risk, and the people who shit on the unwashed masses in Florida and the Southerners who are all stupid, and, the Boston, New York types. I don't know how to reconcile this. I wanted to see what you thought.
My feeling is they kind of brought it on themselves. I don't know why people have different belief systems. I don't know, sort of Palestinians and Israel. You guys can live together, or you can fire a bunch of rockets into Israel and then they're going to retaliate. But if you want to just hang out, you can just hang out. If you're going to get on the offense, and I think that was part of the problem. A lot of people were just imbibed with this thing of I somehow know things, and I heard Dr. Fauci and he said double mask, and why aren't you,
It's narcissism.
Right. But so I'll put it to you this way. There's been 1,000,000 instances of people crossing people outside on a trail, on a pathway, on a bike path, right?
Yes.
How many people with masks have made a comment to the unmasked, and how many people who are unmasked made a comment to the masked?
Right.
0 versus 2 billion.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But the masked people were wrong scientifically.
Right.
So how do we square this? And
where is their insolent sort of grandiosity? Where does that come from? Because it's all fantasy.
If you'd like, right. So there's no reason to ever wear a mask outside, but all the people that were doing the thing that was unnecessary made 100% of the comments.
Yeah.
So my feeling is you're allowed not to wear a mask, Dan, and then your highfalutin Manhattan friends are allowed to wear a mask, but when they criticize you, they drew first blood.
Yeah. And is that it? You end the relationship?
Well, unless they would to change
I don't think
things.
I can respect these people again. That's the thing.
Right.
I know a guy who lives in Boston, wanted to visit his mom in Florida. His family drove down and they refused to stop on a 24-hour journey for fear they might catch COVID overnight in a hotel.
Wow.
And it's the utter lack of logic. And these are people I've known for a long time. And I guess I just try to overlook it.
But there's two things. Two things. You got to realize they were hysterical. They were almost often delusionally hysterical. They were in a state of complete panic. The disturbing part was that in that panic, they adopted a grandiose style of what would you call it? Sort of mandating behavior of everyone within their reach.
Look, Dan, I'm with you in that we've all, we've had those kinds of situations with people where you said, you see some person and they go, you're going to get your dress for the big cocktail party this weekend? And then the person goes, yeah. And then you go, geez, that looks like an expensive dress. And they go, oh, yeah, don't worry about it because there's a little boutique place down on Melrose. And what I'll do is I'll buy it and then I'll just wear it to the cocktail party. And then I'll bring it back because I'll tell them it didn't fit right. And I go, oh, okay, that's a little glimpse into how that person's head works. And you know what? I'm turned off. Like, I don't like that. I don't. I look at it as a lack of character.
Yes.
And I think you can do that, Dan. You can be turned off and go, I don't like what I'm seeing here.
I don't like that people are isolating further because of this thing.
I don't mean isolating further. I'm saying if they would like to unclutch their pearls and join us in reality, then so be it. If they're going to ride this horse into the ground, which a lot of them are, and do some weird retroactive bullshit like I got into with the doctor's guy, which is you never thought walking on the beach. No one ever thought walking on the beach was dangerous. Don't give me this sort of this revision of history.
It was incompetence. It was incompetence. Flat out.
This is an interesting insight, Drew, which
What's
I
that?
think I think it encapsulates exactly where we are. The two people passing each other on the trail scenario.
Yes.
The ones that were wrong did the most talking.
But
and the ones that were right did no talking.
And not just talking, but disdain and trying to harm, trying to yell at other people and really being angry or just so bad things, like really a bad emotional sort of posture on this. And yet they still feel righteous indignation about it.
Yes.
That's the part that bothers me.
Yes.
It's one thing to go, oh, man, I got really swept up into something. Here's a fog of war. I didn't know. I got the media. They made me believe this stuff. They're not going there. They're just staying in cognitive dissonance.
Is there any articles on outdoor masking, Gary? But
I'm sure there's tons.
Yeah. Well, I do not. It's neither here nor there.
How about the fact that in California, magically this thing ends on June 15th? Just magically, June 15th. Magic.
It's over now.
I know. Why did they just not let it go?
Because he made a date. How? By the way,
bizarre, isn't it?
Should you set dates for ends of pandemic?
No. It's like when's this guy's pneumonia finished? I don't know. I think in 3 weeks it's over. That's his pneumonia's cured. 3 weeks.
Well, first off, what if it's worse in 3 weeks?
Right.
Or what if it went away 3 weeks before?
Correct.
Is it they still hanging on to June 15th?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Ugh. In the meantime, here's the comedy. We can't get out of the tier system. We're still in an orange tier. We're still locked down.
No, I think we made it to yellow.
Do we get to yellow now?
I think,
LA did, but there's still big parts of California that are not at yellow.
Ugh.
but they've decided that June 15th is the date.
June 15th, and it is on. The foreign visitors for Disneyland can come back. It's on.
The tier system evaporates on one day.
Correct.
It's not like you continue to work your way through it. It just goes away. That's how arbitrary and fucking stupid the whole thing was in the first place.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of funny because Biden was doing by July 4th, we'll be able to have cookouts again.
Maybe at a distance with a mask.
At a distance.
Safely in your backyard with a small group of people.
Oh, Jesus.
By the way, who is listening to these people? And I've told you a million motherfucking times. The second Fauci had no opinions about Black Lives Matter protest, that's the second I was done with Fauci.
I understand, but I will point out to you, as soon as he started opening the idea that the Wuhan lab, man, we can look into it.
He didn't really open it.
But he began that conversation.
No, he doesn't begin any conversations. People ask him, and he gets tired of people asking him, and he
caves.
He has an indefensible position, and eventually people catch up to him, and then he starts the conversation. He doesn't start the conversation. He gets pushed into it by aggressive Republican senators.
Don't disagree, but when he did do that, I was surprised at the impact it had. I think the impact of what he does is pretty substantial. So
he's forced into it.
I don't disagree with that. Good. I just was surprised.
Don't say he opened a conversation up.
All right, I understand, but I just see that him having saying those things, I was surprised how it loosened a lot of things up. And I thought, so I don't appreciate, my position don't appreciate the impact that he has. And maybe he does. And so he's very circumspect about everything. So anyway, I'm just defending him a little bit. Let's talk to Manny on line 2.
I don't like him.